Welcome to MSUNN Yoga and Wellness. I'm Dr. Melissa and I'm super excited that you're here today because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, and that is running. And are you ready to be out there running? Are there things that you can do to work on improving your running game and make sure you stay injury free? What we're going to be going over today is 3 different assessment tools that I use with all of my clients to make sure that they're running their best out there and staying as efficient of a runner as they possibly can be. So the first one that we're going to go over is just balancing. And with running, you are constantly on one leg, and depending whether you run a 3K or a 5K, or maybe you're doing a marathon, your muscles need to be strong enough to keep up with the endurance going on, being on that one leg for that length of time. So when you're on one leg, you want to grab yourself in front of, hit pause for a second. Maybe you go find a mirror, or you can take a video of you doing this so you can really check into what I'm looking at. All right, so the first one, I just have my client stand on one leg. I don't tell them to do anything in particular, I just watch them standing on one leg. And what you want to look at, kind of head to toe, what's going on. First, see, is their pelvis even? Do they maybe drop down on one side? Do they have a little bit of a rotation in your trunk? And kind of working your way down towards your knee or your foot. Is your ankle moving more? Are you swaying more at your hips? Is your upper body swaying? So what balance strategy are you using? Then I'll make my way down to the foot. And are you rolling in and out on that foot? Are you gripping like crazy with your toes, or can you relax your toes? And then that same balance, you're gonna look at from the side and just check to see. You might be able to see the rotation a little different here. You might see them leaning way back. And when you're back here in a runner, you are not going to be able to use your glutes efficiently or any other muscles in that whole posterior chain. Maybe it's you're hinged forward or leaning more one side or the other. So you're just tuning into all those little differences that you notice, and then you'll switch to the other side. Compare your left side to your right. So we'll just kind of go over that again, head to toe. Check and see if you notice a sway. Maybe a little rotation in the upper body. Maybe it's more side bending. And these can all be for a number of different reasons going on. Maybe the glutes might be weaker on one side versus other. Maybe the muscles in the bottom of your foot. Maybe you're holding your breath. So there's a whole slew of things that could be going on, but these are just some things you want to check into. Work your way to your hips. One hip down versus the other. The hips nice and even. And then the foot. Is it rocking in and out? Can you relax your toes, or are you gripping like crazy? So number 1 is balance and your form with your balance. The second one is going to be a single leg squat, and very similar things that we're looking in the balance, but running one leg all the time. Any runner I have, I want you to be able to bust out 20 or 30 of these with really good form. So what we're looking for, good form first, is you want to be able to sink down. Keep that chest lifted. Make sure your hips stay nice and even. Make sure that knee isn't going inward. Make sure your foot isn't collapsing all the way down. And then check in at those toes again. You want to do the same thing and look at this from the side, because as you're sinking down, you might notice there's rotation in the upper body. So you want to make sure upper body is staying nice and even. You're sinking those hips back. The knee isn't coming in, and then that foot, you're not getting rocking in and out of the foot and gripping with the toes. So 20 or 30 nice, slow, controlled single leg squats coming up and down. And then head to your other leg and do the same thing with that single leg squat. This is probably the number 1 thing I look at with all of my clients, and this is our goal that we work to get them up to really improve their efficiency with their running. And then the last thing, the third thing we're going to look at is coming up onto a heel raise and pushing off in your control with this. So we're going to stand on one foot again, and then same thing, 20 or 30 coming straight up and down on those toes. Sometimes what happens is if you start the upper body, you might get a lean to one side, the hips might shift, you might roll, try and do it here, you might like really roll to the outside of your foot and you're not really loading that big toe, so that maybe if you end up with foot injuries on the outside of your foot, that could be a reason, just really loading the outside. So straight over the ball of that big toe, just coming up and down. You want to bust out 20 or 30 of these guys. And then the same thing, you're going to go to your other leg. Compare. Hips are even, upper body's upright. We're not leaning too far backward, not leaning too far to one side, and you're just driving straight up onto those toes and back down. Nice, slow and controlled. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my 3 tools that I use with all of my runners to kind of break apart what's going on when they're on that single leg stance to really help up their running game. If you find yourself going through these videos and you still have some questions or you're not sure about anything, please feel free to reach out. I do a lot of running assessments and I love working with runners, so I'd be happy to chat with you so that we could help you to reach your running goals. So I'll leave that link down below. Also, I'll leave a link down below to my pre-running routine that I do every time that I go out running. It really makes a big difference. I notice in glute activation in my form, and I just have much better runs. So maybe check that video out on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link down there. And if you know anybody else starting their running game or just have these lingering aches and pains, please feel free to share with them. Make sure if you liked this video, you hit that subscribe button or hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of our new content that I have coming out. And happy running, everybody. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Namaste.